2521, a love letter to each of us. Dreams, hardships, friendship, loneliness, love, and heartbreak. Each of these are core themes explored and unpacked in the new Korean television series 2521. It's a story about an 18-year-old girl who pursues her dream of becoming a great fencer, but at the same time, it's so much more than that. If you've watched The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, you start to realize that while the Netflix production tells us an incredible story about a young girl who pursues her dream of becoming a great chess player, what makes it work, what makes it resonate with each of us, chess masters and non-chess masters alike, are the common themes of being dealt bad hands in life, striving towards our dreams and succeeding regardless, and ultimately finding love and friendship along the way. These are, after all, ideas and experiences that all of us can either relate to or want to relate to. And while not many of us might grow up to become master chess players nor great fencers, all of us want to lead incredible lives filled with love, laughter, friendship, and fulfilled dreams, where at the end of our days we can say to ourselves that this is a life worth living, a life well spent. With this goal in mind, over the course of 16 episodes brimming with story, and honestly I was happily surprised to find out just how much story they were able to pack into each episode. 2521 weaves together a tale of the lives, adventures, and at times difficult trials of 5 incredible individuals, with these being just some of their stories. An inspiringly resilient girl who chases her dreams with fortitude and so much charity that she actually finds it in herself to fight for and later even forgive someone who up to that point has caused her so much pain. Another amazingly resilient girl who bears the sufferings of her parents, loves them with an intensity that is beautiful to behold at times, and is ultimately willing to go above and beyond to sacrifice career and public humiliation for them. A passionate young man who gives his everything when he loves, who actively works to create special moments for the girl he likes, and is willing to take that step forward to commit, to try and make their relationship work, even in the face of doubt and the unknown. A courageous girl who defends her classmates and childhood friend, and who not only believes in justice to the point where she defends it with words, but also through actions that she knows will jeopardize her future and her life, but that she willingly chooses anyway. And finally, a loving but flawed man who loves his father, mother, and younger brother, who embraces responsibility for not only himself, but for his father, and who loves a girl and goes above and beyond to protect and care for her. What I found so very special about this series is how it kept reminding me that the bar for lived virtue is high, certainly higher than where I myself reach now. But at the same time, that same bar, that same goal and point, is not just a difficult path to take, but one that's beautiful and worth taking. Now, one of my favorite authors, C.S. Lewis, he once wrote that since it is so likely that children will meet cruel enemies, let them at least have heard of brave knights and heroic courage. 2521 is an example of that message taken to heart, as it sets out showing through each of its characters virtues to admire and role models to embody. So ultimately, when it comes to 2521, it's a love letter to each of us. But I think especially for those of us who are struggling so very much each day, perhaps with a new career plan, our social lives, our love lives, and for those of us who are on the verge of throwing in the towel and maybe even going diving. Ultimately, it's a love letter from a God who is trying to reach us each day, each moment of our lives, calling us to His loving embrace, to let us know that He is there in our happiness as well as in our pain, especially when we are weak. It's his love letter to us, calling us to see beauty, beauty in virtue lived out. And it's his gentle call to us to become like these individuals, Hee-do, Ko-yu-rim, Ji-Woong, Seung-wan and Baek Yi-jin. And more than that, to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. As Saint Francis de Sales said, be who you are and be that well. Finally, it's a call for us to try again, even when we failed. As C.S. Lewis puts it, something deep in the human heart breaks at the thought of a life of mediocrity. The stories of these 5 individuals remind us that there is a better way to live, that way of living is worth it. Is it possible for us to live that better way of life ourselves? No. But we are not alone. You are not alone, and neither am I.